So we had a really fun lesson on pure contour, learning to draw just the outside edges of an object with very little details. Today we're going to take that simple pure contour drawing and make it into a three-dimensional form. Probably easier than you think, because once you have your contour drawing and you've gotten familiar with your object that you're going to do, you're going to make that 3D form come to life by simple little skimpy lines or very specific large lines that are going to give you a three-dimensional view of your object. So you're going to be using horizontal lines, vertical lines, and the famous diagonal lines going sideways when you create your drawings. It's very hard to describe to you. When you watch our lesson, you'll be able to understand more how exciting this is for me, because when you cross over with your lines like that and you create a grid, so to speak, it's like wrapping it. And once you've wrapped it with these lines, you've got that 3D form. It's extremely exciting. I'm not going to talk too much today because I know that you want to get to it, because you did all your practicing of your pure contour lines and now you're ready. Take that next step. Make it into a form. Take that shape, and even though it's on paper, you're going to look at it and feel like you can touch it and it's going to be rounded. So let's move on to our lesson, and I'm looking forward to how excited you're going to be. Now that I've talked about cross contour lines, I want you to see what I mean by taking something that's just this flat shape, this flat object drawing, and turn it into an actual form, an object. We had our lines, now we have our shape, and now we're going to have our form, which is very, very different. I chose a pear to start out with, and I think that's a good place to start because it's a simple object. Everyone's familiar with it. You can touch it if you want, again, to feel where those curves are. This is what I did yesterday in my folder, so I know where it is. I started out with my pure contour line. Then I put in my horizontal contour lines. And then I went up and down and I did my verticals to create that three-dimensional. Some of the cartoons, when they show that like their computer is going to make something, it does that. But what I'm going to do is show you how simple it is. This has the three parts, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do all three parts at once for you. So I have my pear. I'm going to draw my contour. Miss Linda likes to make sounds. It's almost like music in my head that keeps my creativity flowing. All right, that's my pure contour drawing. So the top and the bottom are different. This actually, you can see, has a little dimple in it. I'm going to use that as a guide. And I'm going to go out. That's the beginning, and then this one comes over to here, down. Don't have to curve too much there because it's a little straighter. The direction of your cross contour lines will actually also give more dimension or more form or feeling of it being whole. Now right through here, you can see it kind of swoops around. So I'm going to combine how I'm doing my lines. So now that I have that, I know that I can come down here and around. I can come down here and around. Now this is very wide, so I'm going to go wide. And even if some people might think you're a little goofy, tell yourself these things out loud. If you're capable of saying it to yourself, that's really good too. I prefer to be out loud. All right, so that's rounded. Now I've got these round lines that are going to come around. This one starts up here wide and goes around up tight. But see how I'm getting that, pardon me, bigger section? There we go. And then up here, you can see the difference between your fully done cross contour lines and ones that still need the horizontal help. All right, there we go. So we have our pair. Now, like I said, these are fairly simple for you to do. And in the materials instructions that you got, I asked you to bring in back one of the objects that you did your pure contour line. And I just like this little kitty because it's super cute. So I'm going to do the cat. This is going to have very, 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 very different type of lines than your simpler objects. And it's going to be so much easier to draw now that I can look at it. Got up here, it's kind of like an elbow, and then the back one. And this is, you know, like I said, it's not the pure shape of a cat because it's a stuffed animal. And guess what? It doesn't have the right size. And we'll get that ear in there. Okay, so there's my cat. Now this is starting to wear down. So I'm going to give it a colored pencil. You don't use an electric pencil sharpener with it. You only do it about 5 times. Colored pencils are softer than regular pencils. So if it's too sharp, it's just going to snap right off. All right, so contour lines for a cat. First you have its muzzle. Right? I'm going to do it this way because, and actually I'm going to go this way. There you go. I just actually put a muzzle on it, didn't I? The head is round. It's actually a separate thing from the body. Put the forehead in. And then this is actually going away from the forehead. The direction of your cross contour lines are going to give your drawing complete shape. And like I said, this is going to be very different because look at all the different cross contour lines I'm using as of now. Now this actually comes up. So if I'm kind of making you a little afraid to try something harder, don't, because it's fun. You can do this over and over again and all of a sudden you just be like, you have it all done. But see how it's starting to take form? It's starting to look round. You know, it actually has another leg. I think I'm going to put that there too. And that one I can't see, so. All right, around here. And you know, you have kneecaps, so do cats. So when you get to a kneecap or you get to toes, this is actually going to be like this. Rounded that way and then rounded that way. And that separates where your paw is from your body. And this is going to come up. All right, I'm going to try to do this a little quicker. And the back is a little longer, straighter. Again, it's almost like you can touch your cat and see where that line is. The tail is going to be completely look like the Cheshire cat. It's going to have stripes going that way, and then around, and around, and around, and around. All right, let's get this cat done. And I'm going to move on to using regular pencil and paper. If you don't have your dark paper, it doesn't have to be black. It can be navy blue or red or brown. Anything that a lighter color, and if you have a pink or a light blue or a yellow pencil, feel free to use that too. Now, it does have a behind, so I'm going to round it out like this. See? Not bad for a quick sketch of it. So, like I promised you, sorry kitty, but I have to put you off to the side along with the pear. We're going to try doing this beautiful mug. Now it's clear glass, so it's going to make it a little easier for you to see that cross contour that's already part of it. So I'm going to start out with the top, and even though it's round when I look at it, it's actually, all right, contour line goes down, it goes out a little on the bottom, Comes down a little bit here. The handle might be a little bit of work with your cross contour lines because it is rounded differently. All right, and it's got a little lip right here. All right, so cross contour. We're going inside something. So when we do our cross contour this way, and I know you can't see my face, but I'm looking at my paper, looking up. I'm actually looking more at my object than my paper. See how that goes there? Now this goes in, so you're going to have to go in. And that will create that visual that you really can't touch, but you can see that it's going inside. See that? Now once I get over to here, and this is, you know, easier than the cat for sure, because it's pretty much the same roundness all the way down. But when I get to the bottom, I'm going to change it up a little bit so that you can see that that is the bottom, and you can see that it's darker. And when I look at it this way, I can see that it's darker too, and that's what my brain is telling me to do. Now this one goes like this, but it goes off because the top is a different roundness than the bottom. This roundness, and I think I'm going to do this because it's much rounder than that, goes this way. So in order for you to see that this cup has different, this is going this way, and then this is going this way. Then when I got down here, it's almost going this way. So use your cross contour lines. That is a tongue twister, I'm telling you, to give you the direction so that when you use color or you put details into something, your brain, you can look at something like this and your brain will be like, oh, I remember that's darker because it's underneath. This goes this way because it's round and it's not flat on that area. Now this is kind of flat, so I want to use straighter lines. Now this part of it is easier. I'm going from one side to the other so I can balance out my roundness and maybe change my contour drawing a little bit. Feel free to do whatever you need to do to make it look good for you. I enjoy doing this. I could sit here and do this all day long. Nothing else would get done, but I certainly would be a happy woman. So there's our mug. Once you've done all of these practices, start out simple. Do your 3 processes so that you're able to understand the final one. Or if you feel really confident when you do the first contour drawing, go for it. All right, so I keep turning these around because I have something exciting I want to show you, and I'm getting all excited. All right, move this out of the way. This is what you can do once you, yeah, so much for my organizational skills. These are contour drawings of a shell. And you can see I put all these different lines in there to show me all the different angles of the actual pieces of shell. Once you get to this point, if you'd like to, take it a further step. It's going to be putting in dark lines. I was confident, so I only have a few cross contour lines because I knew where this was going to go. So then go back in with your white pencil. Find all the details of where it's round, where it's deep and dark. Since it's white, anything that's dark is going to be white. It's another way of flipping the way your mind thinks. And go through and finish that up. I don't have the shell in front of me. I have, let's see, I have this shell so that we can at least see what I'm talking about. Deep, dark areas that go in. Let's just make this that shell. See? Never say never. It wasn't the same shell, but I certainly can make it look like it. It's kind of remind me of like octopus things. It's kind of odd. And this one came out here. And this one, they're almost like fingers, or they're little webbed like a, I wonder if, there we go. So this, I have this now, so I can web this in. And I can get these cross contour lines in. And then I'm going to use my pencil and my bumper. I love my bumper. You'll be very, very good at using your bumpers after learning with Miss Linda, because I use them for everything. So I'm not going to finish this because it would take me a while. And once I get to this point, I don't want to rush myself. I want to take my time. I want to get it in there right. This was my first trial, see? I tried just doing loopy loops, and it would work. You could outline that. That could be a cross contour line, and you could put your little spikes in there. Find what works best from you. I'm going to give you every idea and trick that I have. Try to teach you the things that I know so that you can be confident and want to sit there and do it all day. So I'm going to clean up my area, and I will be back to say goodbye to you. So I was right. It was fun, wasn't it? And it was super simple to take a drawing, a pure contour line drawing, still can't say it even though I've said it 100 times, and turn it into a three-dimensional drawing that you want to touch, that you think you can feel. And if you're doing it and you do something simple like this beautiful pear, you could also put an apple next to it and draw the contour lines through that. Start creating a still life for yourself. Try a carrot. Try something like broccoli. That would probably drive you a little off, so that might be a little hard. But once you do get to that point where you are comfortable, even if the contour lines are still on your object, take it that further step. Give it more dimension by filling in that area. We'll be talking more about that type of shading and things like that, but try it out on your own. And then when we get to it, you're going to be like, oh, I know how to do that. No big deal, Miss Linda. I got it. I am looking forward to doing our foundation so that we move on to bigger and better things, but these are essential, which means these are very important for you to learn in order to be free to do what you want, because these will stick in your head. Simple ways of getting to that place that you want to be, that creative person, because things might be happening on paper, but they're really happening through you. So, give yourself a pat on the back and be proud, because I'm proud of you. And I'll see you next class.